In this video, I'm going to be sharing the things you need to do as soon as you arrive the UK. Bonus tips for things you have to do to boost your credit score. It's very important that you have a good credit score in the UK. You might say, oh, I never want to borrow. I'm never going to borrow. I don't used to borrow back in my home country. But once you're in the UK, you need a good credit score in order to progress with your life. I'm talking about getting a mortgage, getting a loan from the bank. You might need it. So if you want to know the things you need to do as soon as you arrive the UK as a student, maybe as a care worker or as any skilled worker, and perhaps you want to know, how can I build my credit score? You need to get it from the get-go, from the start. Then watch this video till the end. Hello everybody, my name is Cynthia. I share information that will help your transition abroad to be as smooth as possible. I share information about settling, working or studying in the UK, US or Canada. If any of these countries interest you, please subscribe to my channel. Hit on the notification bell so that each time I drop a new video, you know it's time to watch Cynthia Academy. And without wasting time, let's get into this video. Like I said, I'm going to be sharing the things you need to do as soon as you arrive the UK, and some of them are things you need to do to boost your credit score. Now, number one is to join the electoral register. It means it gives you the ability to be able to vote in the UK. If your home country is one of the Commonwealth countries, then you're qualified to vote in the UK. And this one in particular would add and boost your credit score. There are many students that towards the end of their program, they have spent a lot of money working to pay off their tuition, but they need money to switch to another visa. You know, switching visas is very, very expensive sometimes. And then they go to some financial institute looking for someone that would loan them some money. And these institutes turn the application down and told them that they don't have a good credit history, they don't have a good credit score, and therefore they will not give them a loan. I don't want that to happen to you. That's why I'm sharing this video. So share this video with your friends and family that need it right now. The second one is for you to get an accommodation as soon as you arrive the UK. See, you should get an accommodation before you arrive the UK. And I want to introduce you to this platform called Amber. It used to be called Amber Students. This platform has a great opportunity for you to get an accommodation that is budget friendly. You want something that is close to your university, is bills inclusive. I'm talking about Wi-Fi, water, heating, electricity. This is just a fantastic opportunity that you should not miss. And if you need an accommodation, I'll tell you to use my referral link. They'll give me a little gift if you use that link. So please just go on board. They have student accommodations in London, Birmingham, Leicester, Nottingham, Swansea, Edinburgh, Salford, Portsmouth, Liverpool, Coventry, Aberdeen, oh my goodness, Sheffield and Chester, and so many other cities in the UK. They also have student accommodations in other cities around the globe. Another important aspect I feel you should explore is the fact that you can refer a friend and win £50 in just a few steps. Next thing you need to do is to get your BRP. See, it's not really the next thing. I think it's very important that you get your BRP as soon as you arrive the UK, because you might need it in order to get your student induction or verification of your documents. Remember that when you go to the university, they will ask you for some particular documents, and they might have sent you an email asking you to provide some documents to verify that you have arrived, and they can give you your student ID card. It's very important you get your BRP. You need that BRP in order to apply for jobs, so that you can check your share code. That's another option. I have a video on how to check your share code. I'm going to put it up here so you can explore. It's very easy to do. So these are the things you need to do. I just mentioned get your BRP, go to your university and verify your documents, provide them with your documents, the ones that they asked you to provide in your email, and also check your share code so that you can give it to your employer. Your employer would ask you for it. They want to see your right to work. They'll give you a code online, and with that code the employer will check whether you have the right to work. It will show that you have only 20 hours of work in a week. So these are things you need to explore. The next one you need to do is to register with your GP, the nearest GP surgery next to you. You can also use the one in your university. Some universities do have GP surgeries so that they'll give you an NHS number. Remember, you paid IHS fee before you submitted your visa, your student visa application. So it gives you the right to access the health services in the UK. This is very, very important that you go on board with this. You have to use the existing address you have. Most of these things that I've listed, they all need you to have a good address. That's why I'm saying use this Amber student that has a good platform and stable platform for you to, rent and stay in a conducive environment that is safe. You don't want to be in any place where the security is unstable. You need a cool and conducive area to study. That's why I encourage you to use Amber. A student fell down the stairs in less than 2 weeks after arriving in the UK. Because it's classified as an emergency, they called 111, and when they called 111, they called an ambulance and took her to the hospital. They were able to take care of her despite the fact that she did not register with her GP. She doesn't have an NHS number. They took care of her. Now, there are other students that have something that is not classified as an emergency. I'm talking about maybe you have a stomach bug ache and you need to use the GP. They won't maybe want to rush you to the emergency. You need to see a GP that's a doctor. And if you are not registered, it becomes a problem for you because you don't have access to the NHS. It becomes a problem because when you submit your application, when you're trying to register with your GP surgery, it takes a while before it gets on board. I think mine took 2 weeks or 1 week, and you don't want to wait that long if you're in pain. So that's why I said, as soon as you arrive in the UK, please just use your Google map and type in GP surgeries near me. And if there's anyone near you, or you might use the one in your university, go on board, just register, and that will be sorted. The next option is to get your provisional driving license. You don't need to drive in the UK in order to get that. Remember that you can use your international license, that from your home country, for up to like 12 months. But after that, you need to get a proper license. But this one I'm talking about is a substitute for your BRP or your ID card, because this one you can use it for many things. Maybe if they ask you for an ID card when you're trying to pick up a parcel and you show them your driving license, provisional driving license, they would accept it instead of your BRP. The next point I'm going to discuss is your bank account. Very important that you have a bank account. Your bank account can be used for many things, and you still need an address. You still need to provide important information before you open a bank account in the UK. I advise you to choose your bank wisely. See if they offer discounts for students, if maybe train ticket discounts, things like that. Explore it. Ask questions. Don't just rush to open a bank account with any bank you've heard. Oh, I've heard about Santander or Halifax or something like that. Just ask questions and be very sure before you open a bank account. Sometimes you just need a debit card or a credit card to have access to the bus. There's some buses that accept you, tapping and getting on board, paying for your ticket. But I wouldn't advise you to use this option if you want to use the transport system. Go and get a student discount transport bus pass. Look for the cheapest option that is there. If it's for a total period of 9 months or 10 months or 12 months, is heavily discounted. Get it instead of paying for your bus fare every day or train ticket every time. You just keep tapping. That one, when you calculate it over a period of time, it costs a lot of money. Save yourself a lot of money. You know what I'm saying, because I missed out with this idea. I would have saved a lot of money. I just was paying for my transportation every day, bringing out coins. It's just stressful. Sometimes some buses will not even give you change, so they won't give you any change. I'm just remembering my first year as a student and how difficult it was. I didn't have access to this information. I wish I did. Another option I would tell you is to get a credit card. Now, with caution, if you default on it, it would affect your credit score. So if you don't have the self-control, if you cannot resist temptation, don't get it. I don't want you to be in trouble. Some financial institutes might give you a credit card after 6 months, but some might be less. You try and explore all these options. The key thing about having a good credit score is that it shows your borrowing history. It shows your ability to pay back a loan. Whether you're able to pay back a loan on time, it makes your credit score go up. But if you have never had any borrowing history, you have never borrowed before, you have never paid back any loan before, it doesn't show any history about you. So it's a 3-figure number that shows your ability to pay back a loan. Is from 300 up to about 900. Is good to score high. The higher you go, it means the more the potential of an organization to give you a loan, a financial organization. But if you're scoring low, it's harder and the interest rate will be higher. So that's one tip you have to understand about credit score. It's very important that you have it, because along the line, if you need a mortgage, it could affect it. It could affect your interest rate, and it could affect whether the financial institute is willing to take the risk to give you a loan or not. Also, paying by standing order or direct debit from your account and making sure it's consistent. Maybe on the first day of every month, so amount is leaving your account for accommodation and perhaps phone bills. Some people have argued that having a phone on direct debits, that's paying for it, does not affect. What others have said, it affects this credit score and it will take it to go up, because it's an easy contract to have. If you have a good history of consistently paying for your phone, it could boost your credit score. It could, but some people argue that it does nothing to your credit score. I would say you should have a conversation with your mobile phone provider and ask a question whether it actually affects before you get a new contract with them. But I believe that it actually boosts your credit score. So I hope you've benefited from all I've shared here. Remember to use my referral link in the description box. Is Amber. Just click on it, get an accommodation, affordable accommodation at a good price, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.